Mature Simmer here, and we're back in Neofly, doing this in 2024, but we are going to go ahead and take a good lengthy flight here. So we're heading out of, this area here that we got to in Kentucky. I basically extended the range. Now that's going to take longer to fly. So I'm not going to stay connected here. We're just going to go ahead and basically keep it pretty simple. So I didn't realize they have satisfaction, but they do. So at this point, we're just going to go ahead, get the flight plan in. So we're at KSYM. And we'll hit enter. Oops. Gotta turn the keyboard off. And we're at runway 20. And then we are going to the main airport in Greenville, South Carolina. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And we're going to enter, and let's see, we're coming from, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but let's see, 04, yeah, 22 is still going to be better, so we'll do that. We should be set, and we've got 210 nautical miles, and we're just going to go ahead, get the flight director on, get the nav on. We're going to set our altitude to, I don't know, let's say 4,500 feet. And the biggest thing is, do we have enough fuel? Let's see. Yeah, we have 171 gallons of fuel, so that's as much as we can have. All right, and we will, at this point, get ready and take off. Should have, do we have flaps down? No, now we have flaps down. So now we're good. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves off the ground here. So, should be pretty straightforward, I would hope. But yeah, trying to get down near East Tennessee, because that's where I'd like to be doing some of the work. Kind of be stationed down there. We've kind of been repositioning ourselves. So, all right.
Have a great flight. It's a beautiful time to fly.
Is it a beautiful time to fly? We'll go with that. All right. And then we're gonna do flight level change, and hopefully he can get himself set there. Hopefully we can stop moving around like this, because that probably isn't making anybody happy. That's why we have flight level change. I don't understand. Alright. So what I need to do is do vertical speed and do nose down. Alright. Come on, you can do better here. We need to stop stalling, because yeah, they're getting a little nauseous here. So we got some unhappy folks. One person's doing okay. But yeah, their status is freaked out or something. Can't blame them. So we're gonna go ahead, pull this up a little bit, but we should be able to run here. And do pretty well. Yeah, we're on both. Everything's good. Alright. So it's a little bumpy. But we're gonna make 11,000. We're at 41,000 right now, so we're in pretty good shape. You can see we've got 207 nautical miles, but you know, we're basically gonna be going about you know, a little over 100 maybe, because again, we don't want to redline the plane, so we're not going to do that. I'm hoping they'll be, you know, be happier as we go along, but obviously they're a little nervous right now. They were up to 34% and improving. Now they're 32% and getting worse. And obviously that's, you know, in large part because of what we had going on. So yeah, now they're down to 31. So it says something about you're trying to get them up to 90. Yeah, because then you get a reputation bonus, but I just don't know that we're going to be able to do that. I think I'm going to lower this to 3,500. Because it doesn't look like we need to climb higher. We might as we start heading over East Tennessee going into South Carolina, but right now I think we'll be in pretty good shape. You know, some of this is, yeah, we're bouncing around a good bit here. Man, they're getting sadder and sadder. Now the one guy's still happy, but he's younger. We've got Bodie Bautista, Mia Campbell, and Apollo Khan. Apollo's doing fine. He's 23. Bodie's 30. Mia is a 67-year-old. Really light individual. 135 pounds, but so we didn't put him in the seat the appropriate way, but yeah, at this point I think we'll be in good shape. And then so yeah, the only thing I'm wondering with 2024 is we've got this weird fuel thing. Like, it's there, but it's not. So hopefully we won't have a problem. I mean, I think the range on this plane is significantly longer than we're flying here with a couple hundred miles. Right, but we're leveling out, so now we just need to be careful that we don't redline. But if we can speed up a little bit, like, that'll all be a good thing. Man, these guys are just not going to get happy, are they? Can I give them a drink or something? I don't know. There's no flight attendant on the flight, so no drink distribution. But yeah, since we stalled a few times, you know, they may just be perpetually nervous now. Oh boy. Because yeah, I think with no flight attendant, we just, not that you'd ever really have one on a Cessna, but... So yeah, we're coming out near Frankfort, Lexington, Kentucky. We're a little bit east of that location, if you're trying to figure out where we're at. Again, we're taking 3 passengers down to Spartanburg. And then, you know, we'll see where things go from there. I'll probably take shorter things there, but maybe not. You know, maybe we'll take longer flights in and out. But I just really wanted to get myself down to that area of the country. Because, you know, that's where I'm near now, and it would be good to have the plane in that location. Man, I wish they'd suddenly be better, but they're not. So maybe they're just never gonna calm down again. So maybe once their status gets miserable, it just stays that way, which is unfortunate, but let's just make sure we've got our pressure adjusted. But at this point, I'm going to keep this short. I may end up, I don't know that I'm going to put things together. It may be just a really, whoop, we're going red. It may just be a really short video, because I'm going to cover the beginning and the end, you know, just give you the information. But I'm not sure that covering entire flights is what folks are looking at doing at this point. Anybody who's watching, you know, let me know. Give me feedback. What would you like to see in this series? Besides, hey, we're going here to there. But yeah, 197 miles. I'm thinking it's going to be a 2 or 3 hour flight. So it's going to take a little bit. So there's a little bit of time for these guys to get a little happier, but they just may not. So we'll see what the result is. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please consider doing that. Very beneficial in the YouTube algorithm. I'm always thankful when folks do that, and it helps grow the channel and get folks out here and hopefully improve the conversation. I will see you in a bit. So that airport there is Greenville Municipal. That's kind of the one I'm targeting. But we're here getting close to... How am I running with flaps? Oh my god, I could have been going so much. I did not realize I had flaps down somehow still. Yeah, I mean, I've been going for nearly an hour. A little over an hour and 15 minutes. We're coming up, basically, this is the Tennessee-North Carolina line. We're flying between Morristown and Johnson City. And, yeah, just... Yeah, I think that's the Nolichucky River meandering through, so that is something that flooded in Hurricane Helene pretty badly in certain areas. So, but yeah, definitely really nice area, and I think it'll be a little fun to fly. I've gotten myself up to 4,500 feet. I've learned a few things that might actually make some decisions just different than just, hey, let's pick the job that makes the most money and whatever. But we'll talk about that as we get to the end. You can see we're about 80 miles away on 210, so we're getting there. I think I'm high enough to get through everything, although it's going to be close here. But I will get us closer to South Carolina there, and we shall connect up then. Alright, we're going to join back up here. We're about 25 miles out. You can see the airport runway there. Starting to descend a little bit. Again, we can see to the airport, so in theory, as long as it doesn't get red or whatever, really yellow, because I noticed I thought red was 0 to 500. That's what it is on other GPSs, but red basically means you're going to run into it on the G1000. Because I flew over some yellow areas. I actually had to pull up on that one mountain that I was showing at the North Carolina border. I probably would have hit something. I went up about 100 feet, and then still just kind of barely cleared the trees. So, and I think the ground reading on my height above ground level got down to like 59 feet. So, like, if I hadn't pulled up, I probably would have been 40 feet too low. So, it would have not been good. But, so yeah, even these coming up yellow is a little dangerous, but should be okay here. We'll leave it at 3,500, and then when we cross over those hills there, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. So while we are waiting, I'm going to show you what I've got. So I had actually restarted, so the names of the people are different. Because initially I had gotten them all kind of ill, taking off. I'm like, well, let me just do it nice. I got up to like 59, but then they started getting thirsty. These two were thirsty, and then this one got hungry too. So that kind of ended up the double. So right now I'm at 0%. But I did determine you can hire flight attendants. There's a cost to it. But if I'm going to do passenger flights, especially if I'm going to do long ones, I think that's something I need to look at. So again, we'll talk about it in a little bit more detail because I don't want to have a problem here. But, we're getting pretty close here. Gonna cross the border, and then, again, if I can work this area, I'm not necessarily like, I gotta be, doing a bunch of stuff in East Tennessee, but I think the flights are more interesting here. I mean, it's just really pretty cool looking. Oh, there's like a lake up there. I think that's a lake. Looks like water. Thinking that's like a man-made thing or something though, because I don't know how water'd get up there and stay up there. But anyway. So, yeah, we might be really close to that one peak, but we'll see how it goes. But we're down to 20 miles now. Yeah, putting those flaps in helped a little bit, but it didn't help a ton, honestly. I think I can move my mixture up a little bit. Actually, that did make things a little worse, but we can probably throttle up a little because I pulled it down when we were descending, and that way, if we need a little more oomph to get over anything, we'll have it. So, but I think we'll be all right. But wow, once we get through there, it's like flat as a pancake. It looks like. It's probably not. I'm sure there's some rolling hills, but yeah, real close to the South Carolina, North Carolina border now, just past Asheville. But there you go, 800 feet, 700, 731, 600, so that's probably about it. And yeah, we're kind of probably passing near that slope, I guess. Let me do, yeah, so near that slope there. So we'll probably be fine. Yeah, we're definitely going to be fine. So I also noticed the fuel has stopped jumping. So I don't know if like it won't display when it's more full properly. And then, because now it's definitely also crept closer to empty. Which would make sense. Although I swore that you could get 400 or 500 nautical miles. But that's probably with a pretty empty plane. So, there is that. Alright, so at this point, we're going to get ourselves down to 2,500. So, we're going to do some V-speed. Drop this. And pull back. Just let it do its thing. But we are now 15 miles away, and we're going to runway 22, so it's kind of going to be, you know, north-south, but not quite. So, we're going to see what we can see here. Let's see. So yeah, all right. I thought I had landed at this airport, but I'm not sure that I had. So, but yeah, we're probably going to want to turn at some point, so we'll just kind of be careful. Probably going to bring myself down to 2,000 feet. The airport's at 953 feet. So 2,000 feet will put us about 1,000 feet above the ground. You can see everything behind us. It's gotten red, yellow now, a lot of green here. But we're just going down another 400 feet or so. So yeah, that lake is about halfway. If I'm kind of doing some VFR. But yeah, we're down to 1,100, so we're going to be less than 1,000 feet above the ground. But it's obviously pretty, pretty flat compared to where we were just a moment ago. But yeah, okay. So now we're flattening out. I want to accelerate a little bit just to not lose too much airspeed right now. Obviously fly, but yeah, I was initially like, oh, the people won't get sick, but I think the flight attendants, you can tell them, hey, serve a drink, serve food, they can give people a pillow, there's a safety, but there's 5 things you can do. I mean, again, we're far enough away, I guess. We'll take a peek. So, you can give them a drink, feed them, show them a movie, give them a pillow, and this is safety. Now, the other option, obviously, we have is we can fly packages. Those don't need to be fed or watered or anything. You just need to take care of other things. But that, in essence, is what I need to think about. Is like, all right, do I want to... all right, where's the heading here? So we're going to go, let's see, 22... So this will be 110 is about where, no, 130 is about where we'll want to go. So we'll now heading bug over that way, because we're going to want to give ourselves a little bit of an approach. So in essence, kind of heading into the base leg, and then, turning in at the appropriate time. But, it's always 90 degrees, so basically take one number away, add a number to the next one, to the first, to the hundreds digit, so again, if we go the other way, we're at 040, would be the, the downwind leg if we were applying a pattern around the airport. But, obviously we're gonna close the gap a little slower now because, I mean, yes, we're slowly getting closer, but we're not quite. So, I mean, my guess is it's there. Problem is at 1,000 feet, I'm kind of watching my Navigraph charts off to the side. But, we can also see here where we're at, but it's harder with the runway and all that. to know. So under 7, 6.8 miles. So we probably have 4 miles on this heading, and then we'll start to turn in, going over, getting close to Holly Springs on the other side of this water here, this lake. All right. But yeah, so that's in essence the decision-making point, because I've just really been doing Neofly as like, yeah, okay, it gives me somewhere to fly, it rewards me a little, we can, you know, try to work things up a bit, and it just, yeah, was a little different. So I'm gonna get myself, now we probably do want to go the whole way here. Whoops. Because now we may have gone too far. No, maybe not. Yeah, we're over this way. I think I see. It probably is there. So let's kind of take it a little bit more of an angle and then bring it in. Alright, so we're going to start to slow down. So we're going to want to get to flap speed and all that. Oh, now these people are what? What's passengers board? Ah, okay. You can ask them to play a movie. So now 2 of the passengers are bored. The one that was hungry is now all bored. And then the one that was a green thumb is now bored. So. Alright, 94. So we're going to put the flaps down. Just about where we need to be. Because again, when we start dropping down, we're gonna speed up. So there we go. Get lined up, or at least somewhat lined up. I think we're too far, but pull back again and just slough off some airspeed here. Get ourselves second level of flaps. And then the final level of flaps. So we're getting a lot of lift because of the flaps. So again, it's basically the speed was high, so it's kind of pulling things back a little bit more. Again, the nice thing with the Cessnas, it should be a nice light landing, of course. You know, the last mission I took, I think I had something fragile and then broke the darn thing, so, because we stalled basically above the runway and then fell the last 20 feet or whatever. Right, so 500 feet. So the wind is right at us. All right, now I'm too low. You can see all the pappy lights went red, so we're gonna fly a bit. There we go. Now we're okay. So it's interesting. They don't go one at a time. They're just 2 pairs of red or 2... Oh, okay, well that's not good. So let's speed up some. Because yeah, we don't want to stall. You know, landing at whatever 80 or something is not a bad thing. All right, doing pretty well. 60 feet.
That was a harder landing than we like to see, pilot.
So again, now we scared people.
Contact ground for your parking assignment
All right.
and shut down your engine.
I probably really didn't need to shut the engine down fully, so I'm gonna have to work on that, because I don't normally fly an aircraft that don't slough off speed that fast. So yeah, I probably should have just kept it coming in and flared and then really dropped the engine at the end, but because yeah, it still ended up being 281 or something. So it was pretty severe. All right. So there is the GA area, obviously. And we'll just get in there. Not looking at a airport chart. I mean, there's got to be an entrance over here somewhere, right? Yeah, looks maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe right there. So get in here, and then I guess between these two, because yeah, the rest of the spaces are pretty packed up. So I think that'll be pretty good. We'll stop and turn ourselves off.
Okay, pilot. The guests are leaving the aircraft now.
So we'll see. We obviously had to pay the fee, so we paid an airport fee of $376. We used 60.5 pounds of fuel. We also paid $517 for running the aircraft. Yeah, not sure what the 5,600 is. That's cool. And then the A qualification gets us some extra points, so we're at 1424 XP. We were at like 13
All the
because...
passengers have disembarked. Good job. See you soon.
All right. It's 20,000, so we're up to 61,000.
Start your engine.
You know, which is not great, but it's not terrible. But yeah, so we basically got... Then we got 185 XP, so that gets us... Oh, okay. I thought we were at like 1,300. Obviously, okay, so we got the bonus security. That's interesting. I don't know what that means. No passenger satisfaction, because that was awful. Flight time was nearly 2 hours, 1 hour and 59 minutes, but they're 281. Again, we stalled on the way in. That's not great. Yeah, I mean, not a bad result overall. If you've not liked or subscribed, please consider doing that. I think I did ask in the earlier on, but always worth it. But yeah, I really need to look at this. The only problem is you're paying for them for the week, and somehow I think that's going to be real time. So I'm wondering if, because this doesn't keep dates in the game, it's just using real dates. So if I don't fly a lot, now again, I think the most expensive one is like $1,500 a week. So, for 10,000, they cost 10% of our income for a long flight like this. So I'll have to experiment with that, but this is part of why you can just learn and see what's going on. All right, so we're back in here. We're going to go ahead and kind of combine these couple together because, we've learned something. It's always worth looking at. So Elizabethan Muni is going to take me back up to East Tennessee, kind of where I was hoping to get to. 89 nautical miles, so it's not that far. So we're going to go ahead and add this job.
The passengers for the concert are waiting for you at the boarding parking.
The concert? Okay.
The passengers are ready to board. I hope you have plenty of room. It looks like they have gone crazy at the duty-free shop.
All right, so I'm going to go here to the staff. I want someone that's decent, but the question is, can I hire, is this where they're located? Or is that just their home base? That's the thing I don't know. So if I hire this flight attendant, we'll say we do.
Head count complete. Everyone is accounted for. Time to take off.
All right, I see. So the problem is, where's KHOC? So that's not something I was expecting. In Washington? No. Oh, Hillsboro, Ohio. Okay. But my question is, can I move them? Yeah, so the interesting thing is, we cannot see him. So we hired Julius. Yeah, because this is not great.
Captain, we have opened the gates for boarding. The passengers are on their way.
All right, so at this point, I don't know that we're going to be able to do anything with them. She's already unhappy for some reason. But in any event, we'll get her up there. But we need to set the payload. So in theory, it's...
Transporter, boarding is complete. You can start your flight. Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
Right, so... Oh, well now it says we're missing 190 pounds. Interesting. So... Let's say 210. All right. So we're good there. We have enough. We just need to get ourselves in here. So we are Kilo All Sierra Papa. Whoops. And then we want, whoops, we want to get here, and then we're going to 0A9, whoops. Why is this not working? 0A9er. Elizabethan, Tennessee. Right. So we're going to turn on the flight director, turn on the nav. I'm confused. Why won't it go to GPS? Do we have to be airborne? Or do I have to have a runway in, maybe? I might. Well, let's see. So we're going to do runway 06. And, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out, I suppose. We'll get ourselves set there. And we will take off. Alright, she's now happy. 33%. Maybe she just needed to be in the plane. I don't know. So, a little bit. Well, we just got wind blowing 13 knots at us. So, we're just gonna lift off. I didn't even have to do much
Bon
with the
voyage,
stick.
aircrew. We hope to see you again soon.
Alright. And we're gonna set the altitude at, let's say 4,200. And we're gonna autopilot. And, don't know what's going on with that, but we shall.
Don't sink.
Whoop.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't
We're not gonna sink. We're not gonna sink. We're fine. Alright. So flaps are now up. So we're good. And we want to just go direct. Whoops. Let's do this. So if I go direct and activate, will that work? That will work. Okay, cool. Alright, so I think that was just part of the issue there. But yeah, we are, you know, a bit challenged for what we have here. But yeah, what we obviously just talked about is it would be great to have a flight attendant, but it doesn't look like we can get one. So what I was going to do is make sure I don't take more than 2 passengers, and then I could have the flight attendant in with us, and I think that will work, because passengers do pay pretty well. So there's certainly not a bad situation. Basically looks like it's almost due north. As you can see, we're on 06 degrees, 07. Now obviously we're going to settle in. Oh no, I guess that is where we will fly. So we'll see how high we need to get, but we likely are going to need to cross the same mountains that I crossed before. So right now she's happy. She's at 36%. She's getting happier. I don't know that anybody got thirsty at 89 miles out. I think it took about 100 miles. So hopefully she'll be happy, but I think if they don't get to 90, I don't think we get any reputation bonus anyway, so it doesn't really matter. but we're going to want to get over to Elizabethan, which is over by Johnson City and Bristol. And, you know, then maybe we can find some little runs around there, just run around that area, see what's going on, see what it looks like. But I think, yeah, what I'm going to shift to here is just, hey, here's what we're taking off, we're getting some information, and then, you know, we're landing. Because I don't know that flying the entire way is something that's terribly interesting. Obviously, I'll jump in and, you know, show you some scenery where it makes sense. We keep redlining the engine here, even though we're climbing, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, it's that ridge over there that I'm a little worried about, because I don't think we're seeing it quite yet on the terrain map there. But we've got another 1,000 feet to go up. We should be in good shape. So I will fly this, and I will see you in a little bit. Alright, so things are getting a little hairy up here. Just flying into some weather. So, looks like we've got 18 knots cross breeze. Again, with the autopilot, it won't be too terribly bad. So, just happy for that. And, you know, we'll have to see how everything turns out. But just trying to get across the mountains. And once we're across, then we shall be able to figure out how we're going to land here. But yeah, it's not like there aren't any mountains for a bit, but yeah, trying to do real weather when I do these, it just ends up being a problem sometimes. But once again, you know, we are using autopilot, so we've got instruments, we can see things. It's all good. So yeah, I keep like going back and forth. I'm intrigued with on air as a career thing, but you know, every time I search, everybody's like, well, Neofly does great and it's free, and you know, and it's true, and I've tried all of the others and so forth, and I'm not looking at building something insane in Neofly or anything, so you know, and I think it's just a lot of work the other way, and you know, you're onto a subscription, which obviously is a whole different animal at that point. Yeah, this is crazy. So I think we're still, I don't know, we might have crossed into Tennessee. I'm not entirely sure if that's what this is. I'm just worried what the heck is looming out there. But again, everything's green, so there shouldn't be anything that's gonna come up and bite me. But wow. Yeah, this is just rough. But hopefully the weather won't be too bad. Got a little bit, I don't know if that's snow or just lakes we're seeing. Not sure. 800 feet above the terrain, 1,200 feet. But yeah, we got another ridge there, and I think after that we can think about doing something. I'm trying to remember, it's runway 06. It's a 5,000 foot runway. Now, if I can get myself to be able to land the Cessna consistently, smoothly, I can probably work on more of the fragile cargo jobs and stuff. Like, there were things like flying beer to places. Obviously, the bottles would break if you landed. You know, and it's like, do I want to be enabling all of that kind of stuff too? You know, it's not something I'm a fan of. You know, obviously, if people want to imbibe and do their thing, it's up to them. But you know, if I'm using it as a business proposition, it's like, you know, I don't know. It was interesting, but yeah, they got to give you something that can break, so I get it. And again, we're not really doing it. You'd have to be pretty desperate for some beer to have somebody fly it to you. But you just never know. But man, we are 10 miles out. Alright, I've got to start going down here, so we are going to do that. So just have to pay attention. I mean, it just looks like there's another hill out there. So I'm going to have to be careful. So yeah, this might be that ridge there. So I probably... Let's see. Let's take it up to 4,400 and let it stop. Because I think we need to do that once we get over. The good news is, it looks like it was a higher cloud base. Because man, it's beautiful now. It's just over the mountains, I guess. We had some stuff form. But yeah, so it's not right here. It's like over that. Man, we are bouncing around. Is she still... Oh, she's not happy because she got thirsty. See, and now she's down to 0. She was up at like 54%, and now she's down at 0. So I need somebody if I'm going to fly passengers. And, you know, and try to make them happy. I mean, I could just be like, hey, you're just gonna survive on the plane. I'm getting you there. I don't offer any amenities, as we would say. But this is crazy. So this is gonna be a bit of a challenge to get into here. I am gonna stall if I'm not careful, because I'm being an idiot. Because I was like descending, I'm like, I don't need any speed, but I was listening to the engine, and I'm like, this doesn't sound good. And that's because it doesn't. But anyway, so we are going on 06. So we want to go to 330? Yeah. 330 is where we want to be. So we're going to turn and do that. And then maybe we'll be able to do some stuff. But yeah, I need to, because it's down... I mean, it's 1,500 feet, so it's not like, oh gee, it's gonna be... So let's see. Let's get it down to 3,000. And again, we're gonna bring it down, but the airport is basically... Wow, this is gonna be a bit of a tricky thing, I'll tell you that. It's probably going to be a cool approach, but it's definitely going to be interesting. So let's see. Going down another little bit. Because, yeah, I'm probably like 2 nautical miles. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the end of the runway there. So, I'm probably going to want to start turning some. So, let's get ourselves in at an angle where hopefully we can see. Yep. There it is. Alright, so at this point I can go down. I can go down to 1900. Alright, so we'll just get autopilot off. Get our flaps up. Really slow ourselves down. Because we were already moving pretty slow. This is a little high. Poor old Caroline is gonna get a little bit of a dive bombing experience here. But we're still barely going 70, which is crazy. Now it says the airport. Oh, we're 600 feet above. Okay. Alright, so now we're on proper approach here. But yeah, this is an interesting setup here. So I'm going to try to not throttle back until I basically land at this point. We'll see how that works, because otherwise it was pretty bad. I'm going to throttle back a little bit. So 100. Just feels like I'm going really, really fast.
That was a harder landing than we like to see, pilot.
Yeah, a little bit. I've got to figure out the...
For your parking assignment, then shut down your engine.
I got to figure out the plan there. Because it was still... I mean, it was okay. I wouldn't have broken anything with what I did, but just felt I was running out of runway. So, because yeah, we landed at 188, which would have been okay. My speed was 52 knots. But yeah, it's a pretty tiny runway, so it's pretty sweet looking. You know, if we're gonna be honest, it's pretty nice. Yeah, for a little airport out here, this is pretty cool. And this is exactly why I want to fly around the area. I just want to see what we've got as far as airfields and all the other stuff. But yeah, there doesn't look like there's much like behind me. It's pretty much I don't know that I'd say wilderness, but there aren't really roads. I mean, it's basically the airport and then a little bit of the town in the valley. But yeah, on the east side here, because this is kind of the east side of town. So we'll pop that in, but you look that way, there's not a whole lot. I mean, there is like a roadway that goes along the airport here that meanders through the mountains, but that's it. And then all of this is just showing forest. So anyway, we've throttled this down. Go ahead and turn this in, and we'll see
Transporter.
what we get.
Disembarking of passengers can begin.
So 89 XP, so now I'm up to 1518 is what it tells me. But yeah, the only way to make her happy is to have a flight attendant. So what I may need to figure out is where this HOC is in relation.
Transporter from dispatch. Disembarkation completed.
Right,
Thank you. See you soon for another mission.
8,150. So we are at $68,000. Obviously, we've paid the man. You know, if we go to our finances, we've hired Julius. He's sitting around, but my guess is he's going to keep doing that for a time. You really? No, you can't take out these loans, can you? You don't have the rank. Okay, I see. So I can do 150,000 though, I'm guessing. I don't want to do that, so I'm not sure I want to click on it. I don't know, let's see what happens. It should tell me. Okay, no, I do not. Because that's 17%, you know, but that would move things along a little bit, but just not sure that that makes sense. I should really earn my way through things. But if you've not liked or subscribed, please consider doing that, and I will see you next time.